It does bother me that a lot of African American men prefer Hispanic women over black women.
I mean, I knew what I was doing, but it took a large majority of Twitter to join in. I think that's what Puff realized, that even though he had 1 million followers, there was also an equal amount of people that just kind of was not feeling his presence on the website.
In our generation, there's been a rise in African American women, and because of this rise, I think it puts African American men in an uncomfortable place.
Well, the saying goes, like, it's always a strong black woman behind a strong black man, but now it seems like it's a strong black woman behind these so-called strong white men in corporate society, and it's like, you know what I mean, they just handling their business, they taking care of everything right now.
When it comes to men on the dating scene, the objective is sex. So if you're using these items to get sex, then it's tricking. For women, dating a guy, the objective is not to get, that's not the goal really. It's more for companionship.
It ain't tricking if you got it, but it's trying to trick the trick.
Oh,
that's
really?
what I'm about. Yeah, you gotta trick the trick.
What's going on, everybody? This is Off Topic, and the topic that we're on today is This is Off Topic, where the topic is today what's ever on our dome piece. We're gonna freestyle this whole show right now. So my first topic I want to talk about, let's talk about Off Topic. Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to Off Topic. Today's question is it tricking if you've got it? Let us find out. Anybody want to start? Who want to start? Nobody? Everybody's shy.
Everybody just had 1 million balls, man.
From a female's perspective, I don't think there's a such thing as tricking.
Of course you would say that.
I don't. I think it's treating a lady how she deserves to be treated, period.
Alright, before we even get started with is it tricking if you got it, somebody please give me the definition. What is tricking?
Tricking to me, I think, is someone who's just doing something extra just to trick the girl. That's me. Like, it ain't tricking if you got it, but it's trying to trick the trick.
Oh,
that's
really?
what I'm about. Yeah, you gotta trick the trick.
Going beyond like what you just have to provide because that's your woman.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's things you can just do because that's that person is that you take care of that person. But you just continuously just going overboard, just spending like it every other day or weekly basis more than the average person is.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's tricking.
So if you got a lot of money, like, are you tricking? Like, if you're Jay-Z and you spending a whole bunch of money on a person, like, is it tricky because you already have that?
It depends if you have a whole lot of money, because there's also people that don't and they do. You know what I mean?
I think regardless of your financial status, if you're spending money on someone that you're dating or seeing, you're tricking on them.
Okay, so you're saying you don't have to be in a relationship. If that's your lady, then it's different. If you're in a committed relationship, but if that's not your girl and you're spending money on her, taking her to nice restaurants,
it's tricking.
How about this? How about
If it's excessive.
You think that's negative or positive?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
So you don't think it's negative at all?
But it would be negative for the guy. But
how-
somebody
how
feels
does
if
it
it's
say
trick.
food is like-
I mean, when you say tricking, is there a negative?
There's a negative connotation with
Yeah.
tricking, but I think in the dating scene, if a guy is spending money on a woman, if it's excessive, if it's okay with him, then it
Well,
should be
usually
okay
the
with
case
him.
of the guy had to spend a whole bunch of money. That means like oftentimes the girls are not that into them, and they gotta overcompensate by
That's
buying them
that's
all
very
type
true.
of frivolous objects.
So what about you brought up a good point before when you were talking about, let's say if Jay-Z has all these things, but I know for a fact that a lot of these celebrities get their stuff for free. So what if the stuff they're giving to these girls is the free stuff they get? Is it still tricking?
That's hand-me-down, right?
Exactly. Like,
But
is
he's
that
not gonna know, so it's probably not gonna matter.
okay,
It's
so
in a high tax
my thing is, what if you have a new lady in your life who, this is her stature, this is what she's into. She has a nice car, she has a nice home, she dines at the best restaurants. So because you're taking her there and you're contributing to what she already has, you're tricking.
That's the thing I said. I consider tricking going beyond that. if you're already, if she, of course, you know, is used to the finer things in life, and you do that same thing, just because you go to the same restaurants that she does, that's not tricky. Now, if you every time you bring her to dinner, you got a new purse for her, you got a new pair of shoes. That's tricky. That's going beyond your normal Call of Duty.
I think tricking is when the woman demands these items and demands these things,
and you give it to her.
And then the guy, you know, either feels obligated or does it because she's making these requests. Like, I'm not dealing with this guy unless he does X, Y, and Z for me. And if the guy provides all of these things, I would say he's tricking.
Okay.
If it's a normal way that if he takes his lady out to nice restaurants and feels like he wants to shower this woman with gifts because he likes her, then I probably wouldn't think it's tricking. It's probably just a nice gesture.
Is it tricking if you got it?
Yeah.
If you got it, I guess it's yours. Why not?
Yeah, and if you have a lot of money, you can definitely do that. Just as long as you're not broke.
Definitely still tricking if you got it. Money or no money.
You know, these guys be saying MOB, money over booty. It's definitely ROB, rent over booty. If you can't pay your rent, you shouldn't be spending your money. you gotta budget that in.
Even if you're broke, I mean, if you want a girl, you gotta do what you have to do in order to get her. I mean, I don't know.
A girl will definitely appreciate that.
When is it appropriate for a woman to pay up for the first date?
For the first date, even if you go out on the first time, she could pay for the first date.
That makes sense.
A first date, I don't know about that, but like the next dates, I do, but I don't know. The first date, I think a man should pay for that.
If she makes more money than you, I don't see a reason why her. No, you know what? It's always appropriate. It doesn't matter who pays. If you guys like each other, going out, whoever's got the money, just pay for the first date.
I think first date, second date doesn't matter, or half and half. I'm independent, so I'm always like reaching pay too. Me too.
It's only one time and one time only when it's appropriate. When she's your wife and there's a ring on her finger. That's it.
Unless it's a girl that you know you have no chance and you just know you gotta go all out to spend money to get it, then it's okay.
Nah,
Only for that one time when you know it's your only chance.
What if you don't get it?
You
just wasted all that money?
Like if I knew I could do that with like Alicia Keys and I had that money, I'll definitely try.
Oh, Alicia Keys is the
See,
exception.
I told you guys know that one girl.
Now, when you say get it, what do you mean it?
Have sex.
Oh, her hand in marriage. What are you talking about?
Okay, this is a question that I want specifically Chalk to answer. So you just made a great point, Kenya. But if the girl is making these requests, how close is that to prostitution?
That's very close to prostitution. And the point I wanted to bring up is that we talking about this whole topic from based on a male tricking on a woman. What about a woman tricking on a male? Like is that a problem?
Message, pick it up. That's beautiful.
Is that a problem?
I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem, but usually females that I feel like, okay, there's one thing, girls will do little small things. Oh, here's a card, here's some boxes.
Why does it have to be small?
It doesn't have to be. But the usual female that you're going to get that's just going to go out and she's like, oh, I'm shopping, let me pick him up some Gucci sneakers. And that's then when you're in a relationship. And that's the problem. Men feel like they have to overcompensate early in the beginning. Let me give her all this stuff so that way they could get what they want. And females, when they get a commitment, they feel like, okay, I'll go out and I'll buy him this, I'll buy him that. You don't often see girls going crazy.
That's basically prostitution though, if you just doing that.
No, that's what you guys do. Like he said, you're trying to trick us.
Mm-hmm. Well,
here you go, girl. You're always going to get this.
Females and males. I think regardless, I think tricking would be when you are spending money and buying things for people when you're trying to buy sex, buy their love, buy their attention. Right. You think that the only way that you're going to keep this person or keep their attention is if you're taking them out and buying all these things. If you're buying something for somebody, male or female, because you're in a relationship, because you like this person, and you know if neither one of us had money and I didn't buy you anything, that we would still be good, then I don't think it's tricking. You're just doing nice things for each other.
Let's go back to
tricking is to keep that person.
It ain't tricking if you got it. Like you said, for some men, it's about buying the affection, the attention of their significant other. For some guys who just have it, they don't care. They're blowing money. They might not really be into you. They really might not like you like that. But because they have the money, why not? You want to go where? Okay, let's go. You want this Gucci bag? Okay, that's nothing, and they get it.
And then that plays with their insecurities because it's just a way, just to upkeep, just to keep their name. Oh, why he does it big?
It might not be. Yeah, that might be.
I think what people gotta understand, like when you're tricking, or when people say you're tricking if you got it, it all depends on like who you're tricking on. How we say famous people always get stuff for free.
Yeah.
Certain girls, like if you know a girl is about
she
one
right,
thing,
she gonna get
you're gonna keep her like that. So when you get her that same thing that she's already into, is that tricking?
Right, you're just
Or rather than
maintaining
a
her
girl that's
lifestyle.
not used to that stuff or not, then you just get her just trying to get into. I think that's more of tricking than dealing with a girl who's already into that type
And
of
another
stuff.
thing, it's like the word tricking is such a negative word. You know what I mean? It's like it's a difference between spending on your significant other and tricking. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
So this brings up an interesting topic too. So let's say, let's paint a picture. Let's say you're in a relationship, you're married, you got a family, and your wife, you might think she's about to dip out on you, and you think, oh man, what have I not done right? And you start overcompensating for your wife. Now, are you tricking your wife?
Like when Kobe bought his wife a ring.
Yeah, was he tricking? Was he tricking his wife?
That was crazy.
That's just to keep, it's cheaper to keep her. Just buy her something.
Cheaper to keep.
Let her leave. Then she's taking everything.
That's light for him. That's light work for him, man.
That the ring was light work, but had she left, that wouldn't have been light. Not with 2 kids and not residing in LA. No.
Okay, even if she left him and took half,
Exactly.
he ain't missing no mills. Word up. And then he about to sign a new contract, so if she'd have left him, he's still good on that new money. He don't
Nobody ever wants to give their money away. Nobody
Jordan,
ever wants to give what they earned away.
It was a setback when Jordan got his divorce and he had to give all that money. It set him back, not in our eyes because he still got a whole bunch of money, but in his eyes, they said he was on his way to being the top billionaire athlete, but he missed it, and Tiger got it because of his divorce. And
Nicki Minaj got that.
So I like what you guys are saying, and this brings me up to my next point. With is it tricking if you got it? How do you guys feel like psychologically this plays on us as a minority people? Like, how do you feel it messes with our psyche? Do you feel like it knocks us down even more? Like bottom of the barrel, crabs in the barrel, whatever, the monkeys, whatever.
I think it definitely does because, okay, well, as a female, I know if you have a guy that's in your life and he's treating you good and you have your girlfriends around and they notice this, females pry on things like that. You got a good man, they want him too. And they don't want his friend because they don't know what his friend is giving. They want him. So a girl will cut another chick throat just to get with that guy. It makes everybody just start, money is the root of all evil, bottom line.
That's a Chris Rock point. Chris Rock said that. He was like, a guy, he sees his boy with like a good girl, he was like, I gotta get a girl like that. And a female will see her girl and she's like, I gotta get that.
But you know what? It's another topic. Is like we get caught up in all this materialistic things and all of these possessions and stuff. It's like at the end of the day, it's all about, are y'all compatible? Do y'all love each other? You know what I mean? It's like,
and to Chalk's point you made earlier when you said people, you know, when they have nothing together, it's about building up and coming up together. Do you guys feel like, is it tricking if you don't have anything? Like you guys come up, you don't have anything, but your man is doing all this extra stuff. Your man paints your toenails, he make your Fruit Loops when you wake up, and doing all these extra little things. Is that considered tricking?
That's not,
and those should be automatic.
In a way, it's a form of tricking. You know what I mean? That's just being a good dude. You know what I mean? Being a stand-up.
But tricking is, if it's a negative connotation of tricking, then
tricking
tricking would
involves
be
materialistic things of money.
It would mean that you're doing it. Yeah, you're trying to trick somebody. But painting somebody's nails and fixing their food is like you're saying, I love you. And I think that's
like brother's broke, he ain't got no money, he worked 15 jobs, he part Jamaican, they call him Hey Man. And when he gets, you know, he does this stuff for his wife or his girl, whatever extra he got, you know, she might like Starburst, he buys her Skittles and Starburst, like little extra stuff he don't need to be doing, because under the premise of what you guys said earlier, he's tricking.
I'd say at the end of the day, man, if you can afford it, do your thing. But if you can't, don't try to uphold this image. Well, I'm a baller and I can do this, that, and the other. And you late on your car payments, you late on your rent, your credit ain't good. You know what I mean?
Don't put yourself in a hole behind a
Just the
female. Because
impression
trust me, you
about
could
it.
hit without it.
Right.
You really could. Like if guys are doing all of this to sleep with somebody, you might
And
have
then
a
why
better
we
chance of
keep-
just asking.
Why we keep saying the guys doing it to girls? Girls be tricking on dudes too. Like,
That's true.
So it's a bit weird that we've been talking about the men, but I know there are some sugar mamas out there who, if the guy has a big ego. If a guy has a big ego, the woman lets him drive the car, be at the pool.
Listen, when it comes to men and on the dating scene, the objective is sex. So if you're using these items to get sex, then it's tricking. For women, dating a guy, the objective is not to get, that's not the goal really. It's more for companionship. So it's the woman doesn't feel the need to purchase these items in order to get the companionship.
Some cougars do.
For those that do, for me, I feel like a woman who is splurging on a dude is like she's insecure.
Yeah.
She feels the need
No,
to go. I
that's-
the same
that's
thing with
right.
I don't need that. I think
You can't say
that
that.
once you're in a relationship, a girl who buys her boyfriend items. I feel like it's completely different. But on the dating scene, you're not going to see, because you could date different guys every
There's a lot
couple
of
months.
There's a lot of females.
Couple
I
months?
don't know. I mean, that guys are looking for sex and girls aren't. You're right. Girls are looking for companionship.
I don't
but
buy
that's
it.
when it be. But even without sex though, it's still tricking to me because it's one thing when you're looking for companionship and you're doing it in the right way. But it's another thing when girls are trying to force relationships. And so how they force a relationship is let me show you all these ways that I can be this good woman. And I'm extreme with it. I'm not on a natural, you can see how I can get up and cook you food, blah, blah. But let me buy you this. Let me do this. this, and that.
There are just other things that females can do. You can go cook. You can stand in the back of the shower, let him get the front. You can be cold in the back. It's not.
Well, I mean, we could actually. We all made very valid points.
Well, money I don't have. I don't have it, so I can't trick.
And we could go through this all day, but this is going to conclude the show. Thank you, everybody, for putting in your input. And, once again at home, this has been Off Topic. And the topic was, is it tricking if you got it? Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
the only one.